Hey, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Sapphire Ridge News. Give people a few seconds to pile in, and then we'll get this horse out the barn. Hello, Julianne. I got a couple of things I got to do here. Let's see. Layers from Marketplace, RSS. Need our info. See, there we go. Welcome, welcome, Julianne. Boy, oh boy, what a great thing happened yesterday. I found out something yesterday that I did not know. You know, Alina Haba? Alina Haba is Kash Patel's sister. I thought that was great. She gave him a hug yesterday after he got sworn in as FBI director. And she looked at him and she got all teared up and she said, I want to tell you, this is my brother, my real life brother. And I am so proud of him. And gave him a big hug. I did not know they were brother and sister. But what we're going to talk about today is that Dan Bongino is going to the FBI as deputy director. The deputy director basically runs the FBI. He does all the legwork for the director of the FBI. I think that's a great thing. I really like Dan. I watch his podcast. and I'm going to be sad to lose him in our creator community. But what a great thing he's getting ready to do. You know what I mean? This is truly a great thing. And what I liked about the way they explained it is it's a non-confirmable position, so he doesn't have to go in front of the Senate idiots. The FBI director chooses who they want for uh, deputy director. And Cash said, "I want Dan Bongino." Dan is a great guy. I really like Dan. The knowledge that is in his brain that can be used is something else. Yeah, he was supposed to replace Rush, but the way I look at it, this will be a good thing in the long run because the next president will get a new FBI director if it's not a Republican. But I think that the next president is going to be J.D. Vance. That's what I'm thinking. Right. And I learned this morning. This is on the Ukraine front. Um, Zelensky last night offered to resign as president if it would make peace for his country. Yeah, see, they've got an aluminum factory that they're willing to sign the rights of the aluminum factory over to us if we'll help them create peace. They have rare metals, and it's a great thing. Sorry that I had to leave rather abruptly yesterday. My aide came early and she just opened the door and walked in, which I'm okay with her just open the door and walking in because she's a friend, but usually she knocks. Yeah, it surprised me that Zelensky was willing to resign because he canceled all the elections. It's like he's been a dictator this whole time. And when Trump called him out as being a dictator, well, he didn't like that. He said, "I was elected." He said, "But you canceled the rest of the elections." Yeah, the door. I'll switch the camera and show you where the door's at. That ain't the right button. Oh, rear camera. See, the door's right there. And I sit in the chair right here. I sit in the chair right here, right across from the door. So when she knocks, that gives me a clue that she's here so I can get off the stream, say, hey guys, I gotta go, etc. Yesterday she just opened the door and walked in. Yep. Trump made him look like a chump. And what about what Trump did to the governor of Maine? That was an epic beatdown, wasn't it? Yeah, that was great to witness. Yep. Epic beatdown, politically speaking. You know, I get a kick out of these people. It's like they think that they can beat out Trump in the courts. He doesn't have um, self entitled Bill Barr this time. He has Pam Bondi. Yeah, I am the federal government lady. Yep. If you're new, welcome. Stupid cold won't go away. I'm feeling a little better. I wish this stupid cold would just go away and never come back. Yeah, so, hey, Zach, welcome. I don't know what's up um, with the notification, Zach. I don't know why it's not notifying people. Just come and check every day at 2 p.m. Well, it's 2 p.m. Eastern. I'm on Mountain Time, so I got to be ready by noon. So, yep. So Dan Bongino is going to the FBI as a deputy director. And what I love about it is it's not a confirmable position. So Cash could just pick Dan Bongino or whoever he wanted and that's all it takes. Yeah, I usually do it the evening before, but I'm getting used to this new streaming software. I really like it. Right. But sometimes YouTube doesn't, is what I'm trying to point out. There are times when YouTube just says, nah, we're not doing nothing today. We're staying home. Sometimes, Zach, you have to unsubscribe and then resubscribe. And when you resubscribe, change the notifications to all. To all. I'm still trying to get my nephew to come on and have him and I do a live talk because he has volume. He has an entire library in his house on the JFK unaliving. He has an entire library. That kid knows his stuff when it comes to JFK. Goodness. Well, I don't know why, Zach. I set this up last night, and then I come on this morning, and I had to redo a bunch of stuff, but I set it up last night. Yeah, you gotta click the live button, Zach, not videos. Okay, just making sure. Just making sure. Boy, Hamas is, He's about to find something out. Yeah, it's, I don't know how to describe it. I like this new software because I can do so much more with it. Once I get the paid package, I can do even more. They ain't gonna get in. They ain't gonna get in, Zach. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get people to do what's called self-deport. They're trying to get people to see that they're going after the criminals and feel like, well, eventually they'll run out of criminals and they'll come after me and then they'll leave. Wow, I did not realize that. I bet. Hey, Jason, welcome. Yep. See, Jason, what a lot of people don't realize is that the deputy director actually runs the FBI. He investigates stuff and tells the director, this is what we need to do. And the director says, yep, okay, etc. This is a great thing. I mean, I'm really going to miss Dan because I like to watch his podcast, but to have him go to the FBI as deputy director, that's huge. And something else that I didn't know until this morning, Kash Patel is Alina Habba's brother. She was at his swearing in yesterday. Yeah, Jason Hodges. That Jason. Um, she was at his Cash's swearing in for director of the FBI, and she got all teared up, and she said, "This is my brother, my for real brother, and I just want to tell him I am so proud of him." And she almost started crying, and she gave him a big hug. Yay! Yes, I was hoping and praying the conservatives would win the German election. Right, because their election policies have been weird. They basically been Biden on steroids. And um, I was talking to someone that lives in the UK, and they said that Starmer will not get reelected. Yeah, there are conservatives and far right conservatives there. Yeah, just like we have Republicans and rhinos. Yep, I agree with that. It's the root issue. You know, if we wanted to save money, we could we could do booklets and instruction manuals in English only instead of catering to everybody in their language. And then the 6 page instruction manual gets to be 65 pages. Yeah, and not self supporting. See, Canada, you cannot go into Canada if you don't have a trade and you don't have a job already waiting. Yeah, I feel like there's a reckoning coming for California with this last election. The Central Valley went mostly red, and then now this deal with the fires. Karen Bass signed. I don't know if you'd call it an executive order, but they will not allow the replacement houses um, to be single family dwellings like were there. It says multifamily dwellings only. Yeah, I like Carl DeMaio. I watch him all the time. Right. Yep, she knew. Yeah, she got fired. That's right. And while I don't agree with hiring her just because she is a woman, I think you should get hired based on merit, you know? Right. Look at what they did to Lindy Lee. Lindy Lee was Kamala's number one fundraiser. She raised, I think she said, almost $100 billion. And when she merely asked how the money was spent, that they were broke, and she said she wanted to know if the reports were right that they were $20 million in debt. She said, I got called the C word. I got called the W word. I got cussed out. She said, she said, my donors want to know where the money went. And so she said she got cussed out again. She said, she said that concert thing is all a lie. She said they were told there were going to be concerts, so they gave money to get the star to come, and instead the star came, gave a 5 minute political speech, and left. I don't know if she recorded the calls or not, but she was very upset. She said she's going to have to move because anytime she goes outside, they throw rocks at her head. And she said, not little rocks. I end up bruised and bleeding every time I go outside. I said, Lord, we need to pray for this girl. So she went on Sean Ryan and she named names. No, it's not protocol, Zach. Republicans don't pay to go and perform, they volunteer. It's only Democrats that pay. The Republicans might pay for the venue, like if it takes a Madison Square Garden or whatever the venue is, but they don't pay the performers. The performers volunteer. I love your sarcasm, Zach. I really miss you when you're not here. You keep me flowing. Yeah, we can't let things get too serious. You know, my dad, I always joked about my dad because my dad was very serious, but he would tell you life is too short not to have fun. But his idea of having fun was going and fishing all day or going hunting all we can, but he made it like a job. And for a little kid like me, the the fun out of it, don't make it like a job. We're just here to have fun. If we catch some fish, we catch some fish. That's the way I fish now. Darn cold won't go away. It is a little better. Oh, cool. So, do you love to go fish, Julianne? Yeah, well, me too. I love to go sit and fish. I'm going to try to go fishing this year and take Apollo with me. That will be interesting. He's never been fishing before. See something flopping on the ground, he might want to run and jump on it. But he's been trained to leave it. So when I tell him leave it, he'll leave it alone. If he has something in his mouth and I say drop it, he'll drop it. He's a good boy. Going to have to do all of his shots this month. That will be hard on the pocketbook. That's sad. That is sad. We'll put that up on the screen for a second. Up here we have beautiful, pristine waters. Now, yeah. What's a grunion, though? I've been mushroom hunting. Yeah, I have a lot of good childhood memories. Me and my neighbor Brian used to get in the raspberry patch and then try to say, it wasn't us. and the raspberries would be all over our face. Oh, that's sad. That's very sad. Dumb, stupid cold needs to go away forever. Boy, my cousins have lived in Woodward, Oklahoma their whole life, and somebody asked me how to spell Woodward on Monday, or not Monday, Friday. Man, I had that thing all kinds of screwed up. It's like, well, it's Woodward. Then they got to saying, is it ORD or ARD? Oh, for crying out loud. I said, I think it's ORD. WOODWORD. Woodward. Boy, oh boy. Some wonderful cousins there. That's, comments go. Gee whiz. Yeah. So here's something else we can talk about. Trump and Elon are going to go to Fort Knox, and they're going to get a big surprise because there hasn't been any gold in Fort Knox for like, I think, 20 years. And Trump said, if there's no gold there, we're paying a lot of money to defend. Yeah. See, I know a lot about Fort Knox because, see, Fort Knox was Squire Boone's um, family farm, Daniel Boone's brother. Squire cousin, Sarah Brazier. And he gave up Fort Knox. It wasn't called Fort Knox. He gave up the family farm over back taxes because he didn't see no way he would ever earn the money to pay it. So he gave it to the government. Yeah. Yeah, it's supposed to be 400 tons in 9 vaults, but the research that I did said there's no gold there, that it's all a facade. Yeah. Florida is working on getting rid of their property taxes. Um, DeSantis said this morning, if you buy a piece of property and then somebody comes along and says, here, you have to pay this tax, then you don't own your property. He said he was looking for a way to, once the property is paid off, you get no more property tax. Right. I've heard that too. I've heard that the gold is only, what do they call it? I think they call it inlaid, which means it's just coated, like a spray on kind of deal. Yeah, but see, if it was ingots of gold, ingots are actual gold, solid gold. What this is they take kind of like a brick and they spray it with layers of gold, so it's not like a gold ingot. They got so much screwed up shit that they do nowadays. Gold plated. Yeah, that would be it. Gold plated copper. Oh, that would be interesting. Oh, keep messing up my comments. Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I think the shit is really going to hit the fan big time. Wow. I didn't hear about the money to Stacey Abrams. Right. $2 billion motivation. That'd be a lot of motivation, wouldn't it? That's cool. Trump named Alice Marie Johnson the new pardon czar. She needs to go, is right. I watched the whole thing on here. I need to do a stream on her. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow. Um, yeah, she needs to go. She married her brother to get in the country, but she was already married, which is all kinds of screwed up. Right, it came from somewhere, and they're finding out it came from USAID. USAID was nothing but a big slush fund. It was supposed to be. See, what got USAID in trouble, and I knew it wouldn't go well for them. Marco Rubio simply asked the commissioner for some financial data, and the commissioner told him that I don't have to give it to you. We are a world body. We are answerable to no one in the U.S. Marco was like, "Oh, really? Is that right? You're fired." And he was saying, "You can't, you can't fire me." And the guy was saying, "You can't fire me. You have no authority over me." Marco called Trump, said, "I want this guy," named his name, "fired." Asked him why, told him why, and so he put him on speakerphone with the guy. Might have been a girl, I don't know. And Trump told him, "You got 30 minutes to clean out your office and be out of the building, or we will come and escort you out." Right. She's going to be another one that's going to find out how did she, I don't know, how did she even hold office thinking that nobody is above her? No one. She doesn't think anyone is above her, that the state is separate from the federal. So she's a state elected DA, so she can just do whatever she wants. It's like, hello, what the hell? Right. And you know what I love about the whole thing with uh, the Elon firings is he tells them just put 5 things that you did on a piece of paper. 5 things. They won't do it. Yeah, yeah. They all three would look good in orange. All three of them. The one size fits all orange jumpsuit. Oh, I hate that it keeps doing this. I'm not making this any better. Right. And it says in the letter that if you don't list 5 things that you did in the last week, we will accept your resignation. Oh, right. They said that's what he did with X. List 5 things that you did last week. They had this one snarky girl that was on TikTok last night. She was saying, Well, Mr. Elon Musk, I don't answer to the Office of Management and Budget. I answer to my boss, and my boss answers to her boss. And she said, I don't have to answer your stupid email. And I'm thinking, he just asked for five simple things. And right in the email, he says, do not include classified. Yep. A lot of people are going to end up being fired. Well, you didn't answer the email. And it says in the email, if you don't answer, you resign. Bye. Right? Am I right? I agree. The one girl said that it's a requirement for all federal workers to take their laptops home with them and work from home. It's like, yeah, it's called homework for a reason. Right. He just wanted them to put down five things that they did in the last week for work. Looked up so and so's account. Mr. So and so lost his account number. I helped him find his account number. Blah, blah, blah. I used such and such software to look it up for him, to give him his number. Right. Here was something that I just was baffled by. You have one person, 254 years old, 254 years old, still collecting Social Security. One person, 341 years old. That's older than this country. This country is going to be 250 years next year. It's like, good grief. That's older than this country. Right, right, which there isn't one. There, right, agreed. I gotta get a cough drop. Hold on. Right. So how could someone be collecting Social Security for 200 and whatever years if Social Security numbers weren't around until the 30s? This is all shady stuff. All shady. Shady shit, as they say. I'm sorry. Here, let me mute my mic for a second. Well, I tried muting it. Could you still hear the crunch? Um, what are these? Let me look. I really like them. It doesn't say. It just says cough drops. No flavor listed. Hey, Miss Mandy. No problem. We are talking about Dan Bongino being at the FBI, and we kind of got off the rails and talked about some other stuff. Like I found out yesterday that Alina Habba is Kash Patel's sister. That I did not know. And he picked Dan Bongino to be his deputy director. Yeah, that happened. Um, well, the phone call took place yesterday, and it was announced this morning. Dan Bongino is a former Secret Service officer and a former New York cop. He knows his stuff. I really like him. He was saying that on the unaliving on Trump in Pennsylvania, he said that doesn't pass the smell test. He said you never pull um, your detail and then let the candidate go out on stage. He said you keep them from going out on stage until you find out what's going on. He said this just doesn't pass the smell test. And we also talked about that Zelensky offered to resign if it would mean peace for his country. He said that, I guess, in a speech last night, which was televised this morning. I don't see that ever happening. That dude is power hungry. But when Trump confronted him and told him, "You're a dictator," he said, "No, I got properly elected." And Trump told him, he said, "You canceled all future elections. That makes you a dictator." Ever since Trump told him that, he was like, "Well, then I'll resign." Yeah, I got some NyQuil and I can gargle with salt water. I hate being sick. Just drives me crazy because I'm getting up, used to getting up and going and doing things and doing this and doing that. And when I'm sick, it's says, nope. Yeah, well, see, the way Elon is trying to do it, he's trying to be fair. He's telling them, if you resign, you'll get a severance package. One set of employees, he was giving them 8 months' pay plus their benefits, and they could go get another job if they wanted to. But because they fought it, now he shrugged his shoulders. He said, why would you turn away 8 months' pay and still able to go get other work? He said, something doesn't smell right. I hate coughing in your guy's face like that. Oh no, it's more than 500 now. He's relocating 500 agents, and he's relocating 1,000 people that work on the seventh floor. He's sending them to work in Alabama. They're going to get to work in the deep south. Yep. See, by doing it as a relocation, they can choose not to relocate and quit. Right. Yep. Which I said there should be no centralized buildings in DC. That's my view, my opinion. They should be located throughout the country. Like the Department of Ag should be in the Farm Belt, either in the South or the Midwest. Yeah, yep. No junk food with SNAP. The thing that I disagree with is no soda with SNAP. You can't tell people what to drink. You can limit junk food. Like here's something. Okay, Paper products are not covered under SNAP. Paper towels, paper plates, anything like that. Why can't some of those things be covered? Yeah, I know soda is unhealthy, but you can't dictate to people what they can and can't drink, is what I'm trying to say. Right. Yes, they do get a cash allowance for other stuff, but not everyone gets that cash allowance. Because when I got food stamps, I didn't get no cash allowance. I got like 100 and something dollars to buy food with. I can't get any kind of food stamps now. They said I make too much money off of my disability. Yeah, you need dependents. Yep, kids under 18. Well, I'm going to get off of here. I think we've been on here a long time. Holy cow, we've been on here an hour and a half. Well, it's been an hour and a half of good fun, we'll call it. Love you guys. See you tomorrow, same time, 2 o'clock Eastern. Bye now.